Welcome back. It's Charter California Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. She is back. She is Lisa Ray. She is the CEO and founder of the Children's Resource Network of the Central Coast. She brings a new friend. His name is Blair Jones. He is in corporate affairs with PG&E. Before we talk about why you brought Mr. Jones, I want to hear more about the Children's Resource Network for our viewers who are just becoming familiar with your very valiant organization. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Brad. The Children's Resource Network of the Central Coast is a charitable nonprofit organization that provides free humanitarian aid to children on the Central Coast.
Right, please.
Free clothing, backpacks, school supplies, blankets, toiletries, Halloween costumes, and Christmas presents.
Right, and I knew you went. I've said it before. You contacted me just when the nonprofit was getting started. We're so proud of what you've done in San Luis Obispo County, Santa Barbara County. You become friends with PG&E. We'll talk about how they have supported your efforts in a moment. PG&E, basically, for our viewers who may not be customers.
Sure. PG&E stands for Pacific Gas and Electric Company. So we're a company with about 21,000 employees, and our focus is on delivering safe and affordable and clean energy to our customers throughout Northern and Central California.
And here in San Luis Obispo, of course, PG&E operates Diablo Canyon, which is now the only operational nuclear facility in the state, but we won't talk about that, but a major economic driver in San Luis Obispo County. And so it's apropos to hear that PG&E has been a big supporter of the Children's Resource Network. Maybe a year ago, I believe, PG&E gave a significant donation. Why don't you talk about that first donation before we talk about the recent one?
Sure, absolutely. So, and just to roll back,
please.
One of our focuses at PG&E is that we believe in strong, healthy, vibrant communities, and we believe in giving back to the communities that we live in and serve. So we look for organizations that are doing good in their community, that are making a difference. And we came across Lisa's organization, and Children's Resource Network is making a big difference. It's providing clothing and school supplies to children and teens in need, so they can focus on a very important thing in their life, and that is getting an education.
Exactly.
And that, getting an education, that's important for all of us. That's our future.
And so last year, PG&E provided a $25,000 donation, which was incredibly generous, very targeted, very specific. What was that donation used for? So
we got with Lisa and we figured out, okay, how can we best support the Children's Resource Network in your organization? And Lisa, I think, would tell you is, she can bring in all the donations and the clothing and school supplies that she could bring in all the school supplies that she could possibly imagine. But if you don't have an ability to get it from point A to point B, it doesn't make much of a difference in the community. So we realized that a $25,000 donation to help purchase a vehicle, a truck, as well as help with the purchase and outfitting of a trailer to house all the donations. That would help Lisa get the products from point A to point B and to these children.
And that trailer is known as Teen Closet, is that right?
No, that's a traveling children's closet.
There's so many different permutations of the Children's Resource Network. There's a Teen Closet, which I guess is at the site of a senior citizen's home.
Yes, it's at the Aurora Grande Care Center. It's run by the senior residents.
But the great news is, and we're just going to tell our viewers what happened recently, and then we'll talk about it more when we come back. PG&E has given yet another donation.
That's right. So Lisa has been very successful with the Children's Resource Network. The initial donation helped reach out about 5,000 children.
Absolutely.
So this new donation of $25,000 for this year is going to help her continue that work.
And let's talk more about that when we come back. I can only imagine the excitement you must have felt when you knew you could help more children. For our viewers on HLN, we thank you so much for joining us. For our other viewers, we'll be right back on Charter California Edition. So Lisa Ray, give us a sense of how you must have felt when you realized, when you were informed that PG&E was offering yet another $25,000 donation.
We were ecstatic because in order to be able to provide resources for the children on the Central Coast, we need to have operating costs covered.
Right.
And no matter how much ferocious volunteer support we receive,
and you have ferocious volunteer support.
Yes, we do, but
Charter
it's very
amongst
important.
them.
And we're thrilled to have the continuous support. We received notice from Chris Johns, the president of PG&E, that they would like to continue to support our program. And so now we'll be able to help, hopefully, 6,000 children this year. That's our goal.
Why? A lot of great nonprofits out there.
Well,
why?
There are a lot of great nonprofits, and we endeavor to work with many of them that are actually doing good and giving back to the community. You know, again, we started working with Lisa last year when looking at the type of impact that her organization is having in the community. We decided that it's in our interest, it's in the interest of our community to continue to support her organization and the good they're doing.
Tell us what you've seen.
Well, I think the numbers speak for themselves. Lisa's organization was able to reach out to almost 5,000 children last year, again with clothing and school supplies, so they can focus on their education, which is important. And those are impactful numbers. And so, supporting her organization again to keep that momentum going, that's an easy decision.
Tell us what you see every day on a daily basis in the eyes of the children that are benefiting from your hard work and that will continue to benefit as a result of this very kind altruistic donation.
Yeah, you know, we have children that are standing in line with literally no shoes on their feet. There was a little boy who was standing in line at school with his pillow because he was homeless, and he had to bring his pillow to school with him, and he had a hole this big in the toe of his shoes, and his legs were covered with bed bug bites from living in the shelter. So those are the types of children that we're helping on the Central Coast.
It's so interesting because we think about the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara. I mean, the most beautiful counties, the most well-heeled counties. Real estate is expensive. You know, everyone's doing well. Happiest city, in North America, according to Oprah Winfrey. But yet, there are these pockets of pain, and that's where you come in.
You know, little girls would be standing in line with old dirty baby blankets as shawls to keep them warm, waiting for a sweater from the trailer. So, you know, really our program is in great demand, and we are so thankful to have the opportunity and the support from PG&E so we can help all the children on the Central Coast. And they're in isolated areas as well. Right.
Now, we know that thanks to PG&E, the Children's Resource Network will continue to operate very nicely. Thank you very much. But you talked about ferocious volunteers, and I want to hear more about how we can become a ferocious volunteer. I love that expression, if I may say. What can we do? Our donations, of course, please feel free. You know, Charter has donated as an example, but what can?
Thank you so much for your support.
Of course, what can we do? What can
bringing awareness to the community that there are children in need, and letting the kids know that when they outgrow their clothes, they can hand them over to a child in need, and it empowers young children to know that they can make a difference and contribute into the community. That is one area. We always are needing packages, brand new packages of socks and underwear, and I can thank PG&E employees as well actually hosted a drive for us, and we're able to help hundreds of children with packages of the socks and the underwear. Just volunteer support, sorting and organizing the donations that are coming in.
And I have to say, I remember a couple of years ago you brought in a picture of a fairly well-known resident of San Luis Obispo County. He's done quite well. He's a young actor. Talk to us about that, because I do think that says a lot, that this young man who grew up in this area had heard about your work and decided to give back. Who are we talking about?
You would be talking about Zac Efron.
Of Disney Channel fame, and now he's grown up and he's doing very well. Tell us about what Zac Efron did.
Zac Efron donated hundreds of items of clothing from his own personal closet for children, and for the teens, for our teens closet in Arroyo Grande. And what was really,
which is actually his hometown.
Which is his hometown. And what was very special about that is children who are in need, they often don't get the higher brands. And they were so excited. Well, it was something only they could have. You know, many fans contacted us and said, can I purchase the items? I said, no, these are specially for children that are in need, and they're able to go in and have something just for them.
What does it mean to you, Blair, that you're able to help out?
Well, it feels good. I think I think all of PG&E, we have a established charitable program in place to give back to the communities we live in and work, and to support an organization that's doing so much good in the community. It feels
I can only
good.
imagine. I want to thank you so much for being on our program and for helping the Children's Resource Network. She is Lisa Ray. He is Blair Jones. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks for watching Charter California Edition.